So there's that sound people spend a lot of money chasing. That deep, soft, cushioning thock instead of the hollow plastic rattle most keyboards make. And usually to get there, you're building a board yourself or you're buying something in the enthusiast tier. So let's go over the SOLAKAKA A99 Pro. I'm gonna go over all the different features of it, then go over a demo of the screen and the knob, and then do a sound test, and then talk about who this is for, all to help you make a better informed buying decision. And there's one thing about this board that really did catch me off guard when I first started typing, and I'll get to that in a second here. So the A99 Pro is a wireless mechanical keyboard in a 96% layout. That's 97 keys, so you keep the full number pad, the arrow keys, and the function row just packed tighter together than a full-size keyboard. This is gasket mounted, fully hot swappable, and it connects 3 ways: Bluetooth 5.0, a 2.4 GHz dongle, or USB-C. And this works with Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android. And it's got a nice little LCD screen and a metal knob up on the top right-hand corner here. And it comes with a keycap puller, the USB cable, and the manual in the box. Okay, so here is everything. Of course, we have the keyboard, and again, our USB-A to USB-C cable right here. Also pretty long, which is nice. A lot of cables that you get are not very long, so that's nice that it is a pretty long cable. And then we have our nice little 2-in-1 tool, our keycap puller, as well as our switch remover. And I'll go over a demo of me also taking some of the keycaps off as well as the switches so you can see how it is hot swappable. Then you also get 2 other switches included in here as well. And then, of course, your user manual. Okay, so the keyboard itself. First thing I notice here is the weight. It has some heft to it. It doesn't slide around on the desk. Also, nice and stable. And it feels a lot more solid than something I expected at this price point. Let's just have a closer look at the keyboard itself. So nice color scheme. Again, I'll do a sound test in a second here. So we have that nice little knob, very smooth. It's metal on the outside of it. It's a button that you push on the top as well. See on the bottom here, the name of the company. Then on the top here, there's the connectivity and our dongle, our USB-C input. And on the bottom here, have our little stands, height raisers, two of them, different heights. So the colorway on this one is milk, coffee brown, cream, brown, and white. And what's nice is that the different key groups are shaded differently. So your modifiers, your function row, and your number pad all read as separate blocks. And the keycaps are double shot PBT. So the legends are molded into the plastic rather than printed on top, and they won't wear shiny and the letters won't rub off. And the casing on this is plastic. Okay, so let's talk about some of the features of this keyboard. So this has a gasket structure. So this is where the whole board really shines. So we have 5 layers of cushioning pads, a PCB with single key slotting, and noise dampening cotton packed between the plate and the pads. So the keyboard plate isn't screwed rigidly to the case. It's suspended on those gaskets. So instead of your keystroke hitting the hard plastic and echoing around inside the shell, it gets absorbed. And this is the thing I said that caught me off guard. You'd expect a plastic board to sound like a plastic board, hollow and rattly. This one has the dense, dampened sound you normally get out of an aluminum case. And that's really not what I was expecting at, this tier. If you've ever been on a call and, had someone comment on your typing, this is the fix here. And it's really quieter. And the feel is soft enough that it responds to a light tap. You don't have to, bottom out every key. Okay, so let's do that sound test here. I'll take off my mic and put it next to the keyboard, and let's do the sound test. Okay, so you can hear that gasket in action. It's really dampening the sound. It's not rattling around. Sounds really good. It sounds really smooth. Has a nice thock to it. Sounds dampened. And that's the thing with mechanical keyboards. You want to have that nice sound. It's more of an experience with the mechanical keyboard. And this one feels great to type on. It doesn't feel like, you know, I'm having to push down too hard. It doesn't feel like the sound is just too much. It's just the just right amount of thockiness. Okay, another great feature about this is it is hot swappable. The switches are hot swappable. So full hot swap sockets that take both 3-pin and 5-pin switches. So you have 𝗪𝗛𝗟𝗪𝗡 vector switches pre-installed and pre-lubed stabilizers. So you can pull any switch out with the included puller and drop a different one in. No soldering, no iron, nothing to learn. And this is the difference between a keyboard you own and a keyboard you keep. So if you decide in 6 months you want something heavier or you want tactile, you know, instead of linear, you know, you just change the switches instead of buying a whole new board. And the star vectors that come in it are linear and smooth. So they're a good starting point either way. Okay, so let me go over how to change out a switch here. So we'll take our little tool here, go ahead and put this over one of the keycaps. So I just separate it a little bit more. When these are new, it's a little bit harder to clamp down. So just go ahead and put it on over the sides and you'll see that it'll clamp on in just like that. And we can go ahead and hold the keyboard straight down and then pull straight up and the key comes out just like that. Okay, now we'll remove a few around this so it's easier to pull out the switch. Take out the Y. Take out the B as well. Okay, and then the switch. So you'll want to take your little 2 prongs and we're going to go ahead and put it in straight down, and there'll be little sides that we can pinch in with our little tool. I'll go ahead and show you right here. See those sides? We want to push those in with our tool. They are on both sides right here. Close up look at that. So those little ones right there, push those in with the prongs and then we're going to lift up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the little tongs in like this, top to bottom. Make sure it grabs onto those sides and then squeeze in, hold the keyboard down and go ahead and just pull up. And that is it. That is how you change out a switch. And then to put it back in, just go ahead and grab it, line it up, make sure we're not putting it in at an angle because you can easily bend these little pins there. Just make sure it's lined up, straight down on in, and then just push straight down. And you'll hear it push in and you're done. We can put our keycaps back on. Just go ahead and push them down and you'll feel them just latch onto the top of the switch here. Okay, and then we'll do a quick sound test of the switches that come with the board as well. So you can definitely feel that these are pre-lubed, nice and smooth. Okay, and then we have the LCD screen and metal knob. So this small LCD display in the corner is paired with a multifunction metal knob you can rotate and press. So the screen shows you the date, the time, your battery percentage, which system you're on, which connection mode you're using, and the knob walks you through the menus and handles the volume, brightness, lighting modes, and colors. So this is the part I really like about this. You know, most boards, you know, changing your RGB or checking your battery means memorizing a stack of, you know, function key combos and always looking at the manual. And here you just turn the knob and watch the screen, you know, setting the color, picking a lighting mode, adjusting the volume. You know, it's really easy to customize this. And you can also load a custom GIF onto the screen, which is completely unnecessary, but it's kind of cool. So go ahead and turn on the keyboard here. There we can see lights up, and then we can see our screen right here. So we have it set to Bluetooth right now on the top. So it's looking for the Bluetooth pairing. Then we go ahead and scroll right here. You can see we can go to System, Effects, Color, Brightness, speed, volume, language, time format, time set. So a lot of configurations, and there's that GIF that you can go with. And this is the main screen where you can see the time, you can see the battery percentage, date, all the different icons showing you what this keyboard is set to. So really useful. Okay, so let's talk about the tri-mode connectivity. So this has Bluetooth 5.0, the 2.4 gigahertz wireless with a USB dongle or a USB-C wired. And this saves up to 5 devices. So you can have your work laptop on Bluetooth, your desktop on the dongle, and your tablet on another Bluetooth slot, and move between them without having to pair them again. So if you're one of those people with a work machine and a personal machine on the same desk, this replaces 2 keyboards with 1. So the dongle here is on top. I'm going to show you that. Just go and pull it out. Just your standard dongle here. It just slots right back in and it stays put. So you're like shaking it, it's not going to come out. And this also supports full end key rollover and a Windows key lock. So during gaming, every key registers and you're not getting kicked to the desktop mid-match. Okay, now the battery life of this thing. This has 8000 mAh, rated at roughly 61 hours with the backlight on and about 170 hours with it off. So with RGB running like it is now, that's a couple of weeks of normal, work days. With it off, you're looking at a month and a half of typing. So in practice, you stop thinking about charging it really. That's really the whole point, having this big battery. Not the number, but the fact that it drops off your list of things you have to manage. And if it does get low, the screen tells you the exact percentage rather than making you guess, from a blinking light. So again, just look on the corner right here. So in my experience, this is great to work with. I'm never thinking about charging this at all. And I usually keep it without the RGB on. So I really feel like I never have to charge this. Okay, so one thing that you don't see on a lot of keyboards, of course we have the RGB here, super common, but it also has lights on the side. On both sides. So this has 16 lighting modes on the main keyboard, and then 5 more on the side light strips, south-facing LEDs, and a browser-based driver at the manufacturer's site, so no software install. So south-facing means the LEDs sit at the bottom of the switch instead of the top, so light comes up through the legends properly instead of getting blocked by the keycap. And the side strips are the detail that makes this look more of an expensive keyboard. And the driver handles key remapping, macros, sleep timing, and loading images to the screen. So the remapping is the really useful part. This layout tucks home and end into the number pad, and if that bothers you, you can remap page up and page down to be home and end in about a minute. So 2 things to keep in mind though. You have to be plugged in over USB-C to use the driver, and there's no Mac version of it. So on a Mac, the keyboard works fine. You just can't customize it. One more thing worth knowing that most people never find. The manufacturer publishes a firmware update for this board specifically to fix the screen jumping back to the home page after it wakes from sleep in wireless mode. So if that starts annoying you, it's already solved. You just have to look on the manufacturer's site. Okay, so what do I like about this? The sound and the typing feeling first and foremost. That's where the money went, and you can tell the build quality is really solid. It's got weight to it. It feels sturdy on the desk. The screen and the knob combo makes everything adjustable without memorizing shortcuts. It's fully hot swappable, so it grows with you. And the battery is pretty big. Like I said, I never have to worry about charging this thing. And of course, what's nice, if you need a numpad, this has it. One thing to keep in mind, you will want a wrist rest with this. It can get a little annoying if you don't have a wrist rest and you do type all day. And it does not come with one in the box, so you will need to purchase one separately if you don't already have one. Also, again, the driver being Windows only and wired only is a limitation if you're on a Mac. You just can't get that customization if you're on a Mac. Okay, so who is this keyboard for? So this is for anyone who's been curious about mechanical keyboards but didn't want to spend enthusiast money just to find out if they like it or not. This is a very forgiving entry point. The sound is the thing people chase, and out of the box it sounds great and feels great. It's also a good fit if you work from home and type all day, especially if you're in spreadsheets or accounting and you need that number pad. The soft gasket feel is noticeably easier on your hands over an 8-hour stretch than a stiff board. It also works well for gamers who want hot swap and full key rollover without going boutique, and for anyone running a work laptop and a personal machine side by side, since it holds 5 devices at once. Okay, so who should skip this? So if you need something portable to throw in a bag, this isn't it, although it can easily fit in a bag. I've traveled with keyboards with this layout. It's not an issue, just depending how light you want to travel and the size of your bag, of course. Then if you're on a Mac and you specifically want to remap keys and record macros, you won't be able to do it with this. So in my opinion, this is absolutely a keyboard worth picking up, especially if the typing sound is what you care most about, because that's the part it does better than it has any business doing at this tier. If you've been on the fence about jumping into mechanical keyboards, this is a really easy one to just say yes to.